Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hotlapper YouTube channel. On today's episode we're going light. We've got the Caterham R500 Superlight in fact. But will it be enough to take down the noble M600? Well, let's find out. This week I wanted to go with something a little different, and the theme I was going for was lightweight. Everyone knows when it comes to sports cars, lightweight is your best friend. It improves braking, it improves acceleration, it helps in the corners. It's just an all-round winner. So where better can you go than a Caterham? Based on a Lotus, designed by Colin Chapman, who was a genius back in the day. Caterhams wanted to just keep the spirit of the 7 alive, and I think they've done that. And this is one of the high sports or high performance versions. I think the R500 stands for the 500 brake horsepower per tonne, which you get with this car, which puts it up there with the best of them. It's a rocket, this car, and for sure it's a handful as well. Basically, the lightweight also means that it's quick to pivot around and spin off the road as well if you're not careful enough. So let's quickly go to the practice laps. So we all saw what happened at the beginning of the video. I basically launched off and spun the car straight away, and that's because this car with cold tyres is it's crazy. There's too much power for you to just get out there and just start flowing it straight away. You do need to warm this car up, and even when the car is warm, you still need to be on your toes. You need to be careful. This car it's a beast in a little body, and there you go, spinning again. I just couldn't get to grips with this car. You can tell just by looking at the body shape that there isn't much body shape. It's basically a rectangle, so any kind of downforce, it's just not there. You've got to remember that basically you're driving an old design, and you can kind of feel that it is an old design, but it's an old design that has modern power, and we're talking a lot of power. It can do 0-60 in 2.8 seconds, and when it's crossing the finishing line, it's not as quick as a Lamborghini or Ferrari, but then again, it's not too far behind either. I think it crosses the finish line at about 140 miles an hour. Once the tyres do warm up, there's a certain knack to getting through the corners. I found is you point your wheels to the corner exit, and you have to kind of be on half throttle, and you don't open it to full throttle ever until you're out the corner and onto the straights. And even when you're on the straights, you need to be careful, because even the gear changes or any change in the track direction, and it's ready to spin again. So you need to be delicate with this car. And when I set the fast lap, I knew it had to be a case of going corner to corner as smoothly as possible, because as you can see again, spinning is just too easy to do. So I really had to put on my I don't know what I had to put on, but I had to be careful. And then the fast lap came, and that's what we'll look at now. But before we do look at the fast lap, let's just take a look at the leaderboard. So if we take a quick look at the practice laps that we got in the Caterham, you can see we've got around the 57.3 mark, which will put us above the Type R, the FK8, and below the GTR. So that's the range we're kind of looking at. But when it's the hot lap, anything can happen. You can have that little burst of ingenuity and get that extra fast lap or a few tenths from somewhere. So that's what we're looking for. So let's go over to the fast lap now and see what we get. So this is a fast lap, and this come on lap 6. So it took me a little while to get used to it, but it didn't take too long. And on this corner, as you can see, on the edge of grip, a bit twitchy, but it's immediate within its steering. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Do you want the immediate steering, or do you want the kind of really jittery sense that you could spin off at any time? Even going over this bump here, you can see how gentle you've got to be, because it can be really nervous, and that's just due to it being so lightweight. Anything can knock it off course or upset its balance, it seems. So as we take the last corner here, we stay in fourth, and we're just wait till we're straight and floor it. And the time we get is 56.8, so we did beat his predictions by a good few tenths, and let's see where it puts us on the leaderboard. And here we are in the leaderboard room, and here we can see the leaderboard turning around into view. That's because next week we're going to have a few different classes of leaderboard. We're going to have this leaderboard here, and we're going to have Class A, Class B and Class C. And I didn't realise up till now, but the Caterham, which we've hot lapped today, that is the fastest A-class car that we've ran. But still, we're looking at the overall leaderboard here, and it's put us between the Porsche 911 Turbo and the Mercedes AMG GTR, which we raced last week. So it's not a bad position. It's managed to beat the GTR and the Porsche 911 Turbo, so that's not bad at all. It's actually quite a good time. But I think for me, it just proved to be a little bit too twitchy and a little bit too hard work. Definitely fun, and I bet if you own the car in real life, I bet it's perfect for a driver. What more do you need? It's focused, it's fun, and it's fast, and no doubt it can take down the supercars. I'm not sure how much they cost. I think they're about £50,000, but it's definitely a track tool and something you'd use on a weekend, surely, if you had it. But definitely, I'm a fan of the car, but it just wasn't nowhere near good enough to take on the Noble M600, and I thought maybe the lightweight might have been the key to taking that car off top spot. Next week, I'm not sure what car I'm going to use yet. I am thinking maybe the latest Ford GT, or maybe a hypercar, but I think I might go with the Ford GT first before I start going for the hypercars. But the Noble does have to come off at some point, doesn't it? If you saw any of the links in the background behind the leaderboard, you can pick up your free ebook. I've created an ebook, and you can download it for free. Just click on the link in the description, and that ebook is a book I've made, and it's about my concepts and the way I look at driving fast. And it's got 3 fundamental concepts in there which you can read about. It's quite a fun read. I've tried hard. Take a read if you like it. Like I say, it's free, and if you take out from it, hopefully it's the fact that you're a faster driver after that. Also, there's a few t-shirts and that, a few little designs. I like designing things, so I've had a go and I've put them on t-shirts. You can get pencil cases and all kinds of things. Take a look. Helps the channel out, and it allows me to do more. There's a few ideas I've got going, and that'll help out. So until next week, hopefully, or maybe it might be that Ford GT, but until then, thanks for watching the Hotlapper YouTube channel. Goodbye.